Good afternoon, Tallahassee, and welcome to your Thursday edition of FSU Weather. Currently in Tallahassee, it is 87 degrees right now. It is beautiful skies over Doak Campbell Stadium, mostly cloudy, but the sun is still peeking through. Looking at the radar for the big area, there's a couple little scatter showers here around Tallahassee and then a couple other smaller showers around Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach area. Tonight's radar, tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be a cool 72 degrees. Nice weather to go out in Tallahassee and go for a walk. Partially cloudy skies with very minimal winds around 5 miles per hour. Looking ahead tomorrow in Tallahassee, it's going to be a nice 86 degrees with partially cloudy skies again, and the winds are also going to be around the same at 5 miles per hour. Looking at our show, we have a lot of fun things. We're going to talk about the severe weather going on out west that has put them in a pickle, the return of the rain, and we do have a chilly weekend ahead of us. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Hello Tallahassee, and welcome to this beautiful evening outside of Doak Campbell Stadium. A nice sunset accentuated by some of these nice clouds we have outside at 6:02 p.m. It is currently 87 degrees, mostly cloudy, winds coming from the north-northeast at about 3 miles per hour. It's a really nice day to just go out, get around the campus. Maybe go to Landis Green, enjoy a picnic, have some pickles and some sandwiches. Really nice day. Looking at our satellite and radar, really showing us why we have a lot of this rain not coming to us right now. Very clear conditions, but over here, we have another system that's going to make its way through and going to really affect our daily conditions here as we go into Saturday, going to give us some increased rain chances and maybe some particularly cooler temps getting into 70s and 50s, which I'll speak about in just a minute. Really nice conditions here. As Alianne just said, we do see maybe a few showers popping up around the Panama City, Mexico Beach region, but nothing too severe or anything to be concerned about for any of you along the beach over there during this beautiful evening. Right now, looking at our temperatures are going to be very nice for most of us. We're seeing generally around 80s, a little bit maybe into the 86, 87 for the metro, 86 in Perry, 87 in Tallahassee, getting a little bit closer to the 70s, though, up in Thomasville at 81 degrees. Dew points going to be a little bit nicer than for most of the regions inland compared to along the coast. Really seeing those dew points being raised along the Apalachicola. This is going to be a little closer to your 70s and 80s, but in Tallahassee it's 67 and even better inland at 64 in Thomasville. Wind speed directions are very nice for us again. Nothing a little bit over 10 miles per hour, anything too crazy. Seeing mostly 3s and 5s for us, 3 in Tallahassee, 6 in St. Mark's. So again, don't really need to hold on to your hats right now. Today is going to be a very nice and calm day for most of you in the North Florida, Big Bend region. Looking at our future radar, seeing some of these clouds take prominence over as we go into Friday, but start to clear out as we get into the midday times around noon. We do see them stick around a little bit and maybe even a chance for a pop-up shower around Carabel or Sumatra. Not really making its way to Tallahassee, though, mostly just going to be a little more of a cloudy day than a rainy day for us tomorrow. Day planner forecast seeing 67, 81, and 86 for us in the day ahead. And looking at that 7 day, seeing beautiful conditions for us, really coming in after Sunday, 75 and 76 for our highs here. We do have rain chances returning on Tuesday, so keep that in mind as things start to warm up again. Now, passing off to Evan.
That's right. Thanks, Robert. So I'm going to walk you guys through your southeast forecast really quickly. So currently right now, it's been a pretty hot day across much of the southeast region today. You can see those temperatures currently sitting right now at 87 in Tallahassee, 80s widespread around the area, even warmer down the coast in southern Florida, 88 in Tampa. That shows some of the weather we've been having this past week. Really warm temperatures for this time of year. Dew points are also muggy. In Tallahassee, 67, 71 in New Orleans, and 70s down in Central Florida as well. So definitely muggy out there. Definitely not the kind of comfortable weather that we'll be seeing this weekend, that's for sure. And that's also evident on our water vapor imagery. You can check out that cold front that will be coming through this weekend, cutting right through here in Arkansas, moving its way into Louisiana eventually. Right now bringing a little bit of moist weather towards the Houston area down in Texas. But that will eventually start heading in our direction down in Florida. Winds right now are generally out of the south in most of the area right now. New Orleans sitting at 13, so a little gusty there, but once again, those winds are pretty scattered around the area. Jacksonville, 14 miles an hour, so a little gusty there as well. Looking at satellite and radar, there's that cold front once again heading into Arkansas, down into Texas, bringing some shower activity there right now. None of that is really severe as we've seen the past couple days, but make sure you have your umbrella if you're living in that region right now. And the storm outlook for today, but we do have a little bit of a marginal risk running into Kentucky, southern parts of Illinois, I believe that is, down towards Memphis. But that's a level 1 out of 5, so there's still a chance of severe weather, but nothing that we've seen over the last few days with tornadoes in the Kansas and Oklahoma regions. As for tomorrow, that storm outlook really does ramp up a little bit, especially into the Memphis area in Tennessee, with a slight risk, a 2 out of 5, coming from the Storm Prediction Center. With a general widespread thunderstorm outlook, those won't be severe, but definitely make sure you have your umbrella if you're living in any of these regions, so definitely keep a lookout. And as for Saturday, once that cold front starts making its way towards Florida, we will have to break out our umbrellas once again for Saturday around the Tallahassee area and around much of the Carolinas and Georgia as well. As for the future radar, you can see that cold front working its way through Arkansas into Tennessee, Mississippi as well, then towards Alabama and into Georgia, and eventually into our area in the Panhandle, Florida, bringing some much needed muggy reliefness, if that's even a word, but that will feel nice for sure. Tonight's forecast lows generally pretty warm, so we'll be pretty comfortable out there tonight. Lows sitting around the low 70s in Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi also sitting in the low 70s, mid 60s as we make our way towards the Panhandle of Florida. And as for tomorrow's forecast highs, generally sitting in the upper 80s, even touching the low 90s in spots. So definitely still warm as that cold front has yet to move through. And now I'll pass things off to Josh, who has a look at Charlotte.
Thanks, Evan. Yeah, let's take a look at our city of the week. This week, it's going to be Charlotte, North Carolina. So we're going to see what they have in store for today and the days coming up. Some of the current temperatures in their viewing area right now. Charlotte is sitting at 82 degrees. A bit to the south at Rock Hill, they're at 83. And a bit to the east of Charlotte right now, Mint Hill is at 79. So pretty consistent upper 70s to lower 80s right now. They also have very nice dew points right now. They're not too high, so it's not muggy out in Charlotte area right now. 57 in downtown Charlotte, 58 down here in Monroe. Stanley, Lake Wiley actually at a high dew point of 61. So pretty moderate, nice day to get outside right now. Not much rain on the satellite and radar. We can see a couple pops-ups here and there, but for the most part, if you are in the Charlotte metropolitan area, you are not going to be seeing any rain right now, and you haven't for the majority of today, but that could change as we head into the weekend. For today, the storm outlook in Charlotte, no storm's going to be in the area right now, but you can see that front is starting to push from the west, and that's going to keep moving as we go into tomorrow. We're going to get a lot closer. Roanoke almost in that area. Down here is Charlotte. You can see the slight risk for powerful storms is actually a bit to the west up here in Cincinnati. And as we go into Saturday, then we're going to have those thunderstorm chances increase for on Saturday in the Charlotte area, just like we're going to see in Tallahassee here as that cold front starts to push through. Over the next 24 hours, it's going to be mostly just a lot of cloud cover in the Charlotte area because we're not going to see that cold front move through until we get into Sunday. So just be ready for some partly cloudy skies as you make your way into tomorrow. For tonight, the low is going to be 62 degrees. We're going to have calm winds. It should be a nice night to get out, possibly walk your dog, enjoy the night sky while you can, because on Saturday, that rain is going to come. There's only a 20% chance, but there's a good shot that you're definitely going to see at least some partly cloudy skies and some thunderstorms roll through as that cold front starts to push through. Tomorrow, your high is going to be an 85, so it's still going to be pretty toasty out there with a low of 62. On Saturday, that high is going to start to slightly decrease. It's going to be at 78. And right here, we're going to see that low of 48, and that could even decrease after Sunday night when that cold front pushes through. On Sunday, you are going to have a high of 69, so it's definitely going to start to feel a little bit more chilly out there in Charlotte. But for now, Allie-Ann and Robert are going to give us a look at some storms.
Thank you for that, Josh. Yes, so there has been a low pressure system moving across a lot of the west of, or the Great Plains west of the U.S. right now, bringing a lot of severe weather into these areas.
Right, we had a sort of severe weather situation that developed over October 12th and 13th going into those evening hours. We had a frontal boundary making its way into the plains, and that helped to generate along a line of storms. And what you saw with that was several tornado-embedded storms were generated along that line, but also there were several supercells that generated in front of that line. One particularly was a particularly dangerous situation. We don't believe they've rated that one yet. There was another one in Oklahoma City that was formed along the line that was an EF1 that actually just went a little bit northwest of the capital.
Yes, so yeah, there's been a lot of severe weather due to all this activity from this front pushing through. A lot of tornadoes being seen around Kansas, Nebraska, and Oklahoma.
Right, with this system, we saw earlier in the night a line develop around the Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas area. And that line was initially a little bit on the weaker side. We didn't see much tornadic activity from that. We saw most of it from those two supercells that came through Oklahoma. And this is really the first major tornado outbreak that they've seen in at least 2 years, or at least a year, I believe, since 2019. And with these two supercells, again, they were both particularly dangerous situations, both confirmed to have touched down at some point. We don't believe they've rated them yet. But we also saw, again, embedded tornadoes in that line, and one of them went close to Dodge City, so that they were under a warning for a confirmed tornado potentially going into Dodge City. So we saw two metro areas, Oklahoma City and Dodge City, under the gun.
Yes, Robert knows a lot about this because he did cover this earlier this week through a live stream on FSU Weather.
Right, yeah, we had a great time covering that, just making sure everybody was informed for a damaging tornado outbreak, and we always keep you informed. So now we're going to pass things off to the wall with Evan.
That's right, thanks guys. So I'm going to give you guys a closer look to home with a local forecast here. So around the area right now, looking pretty good. A little cloudy here in Panama City, but that sun is peeking through right now, winning out, trying to win out to give us a nice sunset there. I would love to be at St. George Island right now. It looks absolutely gorgeous there right now. Definitely a place to be this time today. Currently right now, 87 degrees, mostly cloudy, but that sunset should be nice with those high clouds out there. Hopefully a pretty sight to see tonight. Satellite and radar, not much around the Tallahassee area, maybe a slight sprinkle towards the western panhandle of Florida, but that cold front and its clouds and rain showers are off to the west. It will be working its way towards the southeast as time goes on towards the latter part of this weekend. And look at the radar a little closer to Tallahassee. Again, not really much showing up. Like I said, just maybe a little pop-up shower just north of Panama City right now, but really not much to tell out there right now. It's been a gorgeous day to get outside, something which I have not really done, but that's besides the point. Definitely a good day to get outside and be active today. It's still a little muggy out there. You can see those little shade of blue coming up there. That's a little bit of moisture, more moist air that will try to work its way into the area before things are said and done. But it's still pretty muggy out there, as reflected by our dew points. Sitting at 70 right now in Quincy. That's still that oppressive humidity out there, but a little bit more comfy in Tallahassee and Perry, both sitting at 67 and a pair of 64s for Valdosta and Thomasville right now. Temperatures right now are generally sitting in the low to mid 80s right now. So again, pretty warm for this time of year, but that's to be expected as fall has not really come our way yet. And those temperatures, and those dew points, are raising what it actually feels like out there, even to around 90 in the Tallahassee area. So definitely feeling the last effects of summer start to depart the area around here. Future radar, not really showing it much away in the showers, but there are some clouds that are working overnight. There may be even some fog tomorrow morning, so definitely make sure you're taking care if you're hitting the roads early tomorrow morning. Definitely make sure that you're keeping your eyes open and being aware of your surroundings. Tomorrow evening, there may be a slight change of a shower, especially west of our area, so that's something to keep your umbrella out for. Tomorrow's marine forecast actually looks great. Looks like a great day to get there on the water. Definitely make sure you keep your sunscreen in hand, as that UV index will remain high tomorrow with no cloud cover. And as for the week ahead, staying hot tomorrow with a high of 88, but once that cold front really comes through, it will really, really cool down. It will feel absolutely amazing out there. So definitely make sure you get out there this weekend and enjoy. And now I'm going to pass things off to Allie Ann with a look at Florida.
Thank you for that, Evan. Yes, This cold front's going to bring a lot of great temperatures in for Florida this coming week. But Florida's sitting pretty right now, around 80s across the entire state, 90s even over here in Fort Myers, but 87 here in Tallahassee, just high 80s everywhere throughout the state of Florida. Looking at our dew points for Florida, Tallahassee's sitting pretty right now with 67. Gainesville also in the upper 60s, but everywhere else being in the 70s. So we're still feeling those really humid conditions that we're used to with Florida this time of year. Our satellite right now for all of Florida, we can see a lot of rain down near the South Florida, near Miami. Just a lot of pop-up showers coming from those east winds, pushing them across the state. Here's a closer look at Miami. You see a lot of these small pop-up thunderstorms, or not even thunderstorms, just going around the Everglades up near West Palm and Delray area. Here's a closer look at Central Florida. Not much going on. You can see the rain now or down near Lake Okeechobee, and not a lot of rain or anything happening up in Central Florida right now. Up in North Florida, there's a couple showers off the east of Daytona Beach area, and it doesn't really look like it's going to impact that area at all. They're just going to dissipate over the ocean. Now moving more west of Florida, we're going to look at Pensacola, and there's not much going on. We have some rain or cloud cover moving in from that front, and then some small showers near Defuniak Springs and Panama City area. For our Florida forecast, in Miami, we have 80s across the board for the next 3 days, and partially cloudy sites. Tampa in the 90s, going to drop to 86 after this front passes, but still really warm temperatures. Orlando, same kind of thing with Tampa. High temperatures, but going to drop on Saturday with this front. And then in Jax, we have 86, and it's going to drop to a nice 74 on Saturday with these clear skies. Going to move over to Pensacola. Pensacola is even going to get a nice 74 on Saturday, but they're going to drop into the 70s tomorrow, fortunately. Tonight's forecast for Florida, we have 69 here in Tallahassee, 64 even in Jacksonville, but partially cloudy skies throughout the state, but great temperatures right now for our state. Looking at tomorrow's highs throughout the state, we have a warm 93 degrees here in Fort Myers, 90 in Tampa, just really, really warm temperatures that we're used to this time of the year, but still we're going to hope they cool off later. But still feeling the effects of summer down in South Florida. It's going to start to cool off right now in the Panhandle, but still in the high 80s throughout the region. I'm going to pass things off to Robert to look at our national weather.
Right, as Alianne was just saying, we are seeing warm conditions here, and they are prevailing for a lot of the eastern United States. We're seeing a little bit warmer than normal conditions for those of you up into the Ohio Valley, seeing 80s almost making their way up into Ohio itself. Also seeing those 80s prevailing for much of the south and south central regions as we go into Texas, also seeing 82 for Texas and 84 to San Antonio. But the other big story is below normal conditions for much of you into the upper plains. Many of you seeing in Bismarck 51 right now, 43 in Billings and 40 in Denver. That's what's allowed a lot of the snow to start falling in some of these areas overnight because they're getting below freezing. So a little bit below normal. We really have these two areas of weather that we're looking at, very different, very distinct, and very much influenced by this cold front that's going to make its way a little bit to the east and provide some relief for us. Current dew points we're seeing generally a little bit nicer off to the west than the east, seeing a little more in your 20s and 30s for much of the region out here. But as we make our way over to the east, we're seeing 60s prevailing for most of us, getting a little bit better for Washington, D.C. and Boston into your 50s. But generally a little bit on the muggier side. And the reason why, we have this cold front right here. That's the big story for us nationally. Drier conditions prevailing behind and a lot more humid conditions, particularly as we get towards the south as we get into ahead of the cold front. Seeing that high pressure sort of prevailing over here, low pressure along this front over here, and there's another sort of high pressure system over here, keeping these conditions a little bit warmer for us and free of rain. But again, that cold front is really going to change things up. Active alerts really showing that we have a bit of a colder situation up here, seeing a freeze warning for you guys in western North Dakota and eastern Colorado, seeing some freeze watches and frost advisories for you in Nebraska and Texas, which is, again, we're going into that sort of late October time. This is pretty expected for you guys. And for the east, pretty quiet, only some small craft advisories out west as well. So generally a quiet story, if not a little bit cold for the west. That cold front, pretty evident here. These storms firing along it right here, going to make its way off to the east and provide some rain chances for us to the eastern areas, particularly into Florida, and those of you up into the northeast and New England regions. Right now, though, fairly cloudless and without rain for most of you. Seeing this rain change to snow as you make your way farther west into the Colorado mountainous areas and into the Rockies, starting to see some snow for you guys. So again, getting into that October region, we are a little bit below normal, particularly in the plains, but this is not particularly out of the season for all of you. Dry conditions out to the southwest. This is not what we want to see because, as I'm sure you've watched us previously talk about how much drought we have going on down here, and almost no relief for you guys. Perfect graphic for me to talk about now. Drought monitor showing we have these exceptional conditions, a little bit better than we've seen previously in Arizona, though, as they had a lot of rain coming in, and as we go into New Mexico, but still, most of you in California and Nevada still seeing those very dry conditions. Satellite showing prevailing pretty cloudless conditions and without rain here in the southeast, but again, that is going to change a lot as we get into our way into Saturday. Seeing all these stormy conditions behind the cold front, a little bit of a 1 out of 5 marginal risk, but no sort of outbreak expected. Seeing a little bit of an elevated risk as we get into tomorrow, though, a bit of a slide that could provide some severe storms, enough lift for maybe some small hail, medium-sized hail, damaging winds, and maybe a tornado or two. So if you're in this yellow or green area, you really need to watch for any severe weather. And as we get into day 3, storms making its way back to us over the weekend, but nothing really severe expected for us. Only area that we could be seeing severe, a level 1 out of 5 into the mid-Atlantic and northeast and New England regions. But finally, we're seeing tonight's forecast going to be dominated by 40s up into the north and 60s into the east, and tomorrow going to see a little bit better conditions for most of us into the 80s, not as bad as 90s, but still a little bit warmer than normal to the east and colder than normal out west. So now I'm going to pass things off to Josh for his forecast.
Thanks, Robert. So right now, luckily, the tropics have quieted down for the meantime. We only have one name left on our current list, and that's Wanda, and we have yet to see any chance of formation for Wanda to actually be born. We also have another secondary list that we have just in case we need another set of names. So what's out there in the Atlantic right now? We have the remnants of Sam, who was a very strong major hurricane, but now that's not the case. The storm's gone very far north right now. It's got winds still at 80 miles per hour, but it's very disorganized. The pressure is also still pretty low at 970 millibars. So it's still a pretty significant storm. Luckily, it's just out by itself in the middle of the Atlantic. One area that we have to watch right now is a bit to our east right now, right above the Caribbean. This right now has a low chance of formation, anywhere between 0 to around 30%. You can see all these red spots are actually stronger areas of convection, which means that there's more rain. The storms are starting to fire up in those areas. But we're still waiting to see some sort of formation, some circulation, possibly even an eye formation. Those are the signs that tell us that a storm is starting to get together and possibly become a tropical storm. But that's not really the case right now. You can see on the water vapor map, all these darker areas, these purples, oranges, is where most of the moisture is. So these are the areas to watch that possibly there could be some circulation starting to form around there. But right now, it just looks like a big blob of rain, which is pretty much what it is. These areas to the north and south of it are a bit more drier. The rainfall forecast, because of this tropical disturbance right now, you can see in the Caribbean, we've got Puerto Rico down here, the Dominican, Haiti, Cuba, Jamaica down there. They're going to see rainfall anywhere from 0 to about these darker areas, which is about 5 to 7 inches. So not too much to worry about there. Satellite radar right now in the southeast, not a lot of rainfall because of those tropics. So luckily, we're still in the green right now, but you never know. You always got to be alert during tropical season. But for now, we're going to go home a bit more locally with Allie-Ann.
Thank you, Josh. Look at this beautiful sunset we got right now over Doak Campbell Stadium. Right now, it is currently, oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. Around 87 right now in Tallahassee. Our weekend forecast for the Reds, we have a beautiful weekend ahead of us. Mostly sunny skies with our temperature around 82 degrees with a slight breeze. Our tailgate forecast. Games on Landis this weekend with us not having a home game at all. So, great condition to go out and get more involved on campus and be out in this beautiful weather as this front passes. Oh, something is going on with our graphics. We're out to fix this. So, oh, there it is. 87 here in Tallahassee. It came back to us. Oh, here's a look at our radar for Tallahassee area. Few pop-up showers, nothing, actually I haven't even seen these showers over the Tallahassee area today. And then a couple more smaller showers out near Mexico Beach and Panama City. Our dew points in Tallahassee are in the Big Bend are very high, so we are going to experience those humid conditions we are used to, and then they should be dropping down next week with the passing of this front. Our temperatures right now in Tallahassee are 80, or in the Big Bend is 87. We're sitting in the 80s across our area, looking at 85 right here in Perry, 84 in Valdosta, and 79 in Thomasville. Our winds are all over the place. We do see the winds going up with our sea breeze in St. Mark's, but everywhere else moving at a southeast flow. Dog walk forecast with one of my best friends, Laura, is her dog right here, Ellie. We have great conditions tomorrow to go out. Temperature going to be steadily rising throughout the day and reaching the 80s around 11, but 67 tomorrow morning. There is a chance of fog in the morning, so when you do get up and go to class in the morning, make sure to have your headlights on the way, just so you can have that visibility. Our future radar, we see a lot of cloud cover over the panhandle, and that's the partially cloudy skies that are being pushed through after this front, or before this front. Our weekend planner, we have and we're across the 80s this weekend, and we're going to reach the 60s, even 53 after this front comes through in our area. Oh, I'm going to throw things over to the desk real quick for Josh and Evan.
Thanks so much, Allie-Ann. So yeah, what we've seen right now is pretty quiet weather in Tallahassee, still pretty hot, but we do have something to look forward to this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Those cooler temperatures will be entering the area Saturday into Sunday. And let me tell you, I can't wait for those cooler temperatures. This is really what I live for, those days where the temperatures are highs in the mid-70s around there, and then lows in the low 50s, just perfect.
No, it is beautiful. You know, you wake up in the morning, you put a little hoodie on, take your dog for a walk, maybe go to your morning class, and then by the afternoon comes, it's not cold anymore. You can wear a t-shirt and you're comfortable. You know, you're not sweating if you're walking around on campus going to your classes.
Exactly, and maybe like at night or something, because it's going to be happening over the weekend. You could have like a little bonfire with your friends or something to keep yourselves warm. It's a really, I just love this time of year when it starts to get cold.
This is definitely bonfire season, you know, and Halloween coming up. It'll be perfect. Hey, give us a follow on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And you know, we are always live on YouTube Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Go ahead and watch us. You can watch our prior videos at FSU Weather as well.
And make sure you, if you would like to send us our photos, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Instagram.com/FSU Weather.
You know, especially we're getting into the fall season, and in Tallahassee, luckily, unlike most of Florida, we actually get to see fall because a lot of the leaves start to change colors here. So that's also a great picture that you could submit to the FSU Weather Instagram, and we'll try to throw it up on the show.
That's right. We'd love to see it. Well, I'm student meteorologist Evan O'Regan.
And I'm student meteorologist Josh Green. Have a great night.